Let's take a look at the top news headlines. Results of 10th and 11th IRB recruitment will be declared after current assembly session, announces Chief Minister in Bahrain. And Manipur joins India in observing Kargil Divas. Without sense of patriotism, one will have no courage to sacrifice, says Chief Minister in Bahrain. Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to MAMI TV English News Bulletin. I'm KABITA TONGBRAM. Chief Minister in Bahrain has announced that the results of 10th and 11th IRB recruitment will be declared after the monsoon session of the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly, which will continue till August 5. He said this in the House during the general discussion on budget estimate 2022-23 raised by Congress MLA K. Megachandra on the second sitting of the monsoon session of the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly today. Chief Minister in Bahrain said the recruitment of the 10th and 11th IRB were conducted as the center directed the state to deploy IRB personnel on the national highways when the state government pressed the establishment of Highway Protection Force to the center. However, the announcement of the results has been deferred owing to COVID-19 pandemic, and the result will soon be declared after the conclusion of the ongoing assembly session. Meanwhile, GPS-enabled highway patrol teams have been deployed to curb crimes along the state's national highways. 6 dedicated highway patrol teams have been positioned at Mau for Imphal-Dimapur Road, 6x7 patrol teams for Imphal-Moray Road, and 12 highway patrol teams for Imphal-Jiribam Road. Besides, steps have been taken to set up 6 police barracks along Imphal-Jiribam Road, and 34 places on international border have been identified to set up police stations, he said. Urging all the MLAs to support government's war on drug campaign to completely uproot drug problem from the state, Chief Minister in Bahrain said befitting punishments will be awarded to all those arrested in drug case and that they cannot escape the law. On the other hand, he said that a bill to constitute state staff selection board will be introduced during the monsoon session. Bahrain also appealed to the members of the House to support the bill to ensure recruitment of grade 3 and 4 posts of the government departments on merit basis without any corruption. Chief Minister in Bahrain has said the courage for sacrifice will come when one has the sense of patriotism. Defending the independence of the country is based on the drive for nationalism, he added. He said this during the observance of Kargil Divas today at the banquet hall of Manipur Rifles to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan in the Kargil War by ousting Pakistani forces from their occupied positions on the mountaintops of northern Kargil district in Ladakh on July 26, 1999. Mahood Minister Yumnam Khemchan and Minister of Health Family Welfare Dr. Sapam Ranjan and high-ranking officials of different departments attended the observance. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister in Bahrain recalled the valor and courage shown by Indian soldiers during the Kargil War, driving away the Pakistani forces by recapturing mountain heights that had been seized by Pakistani intruders. During the war, which went on for 74 days, the country lost 527 soldiers. Politicians these days must show the work progress and data to back up their words as opposed to in the past, he said. Adding that the state has many agenda to fulfill, Bahrain said it is because the state had failed to take off any development works in the last 4 decades. Expressing happiness at Manipur, begging the first rank in the Northeast and Hillstead category of the 3rd edition of Niti Aayog's India Innovation Index 2021, he lauded his ministers, MLAs and all officials of the state government for their hard work and dedication towards good governance and welfare of the people.
भारत की लामी सिंह कारगिल गिलान पुंदा पाकिस्तान की लामी सिंह मपुंग खान माइती होती किबा अहिंदा लोना संगागा भारत के अधिक मंगम खई मनुगा केम साजलगा लैरंबदगी थोकिबा लान मैम नेहना खंगे अदु भारत लामी सिंह की थौना परबा मागी मथौना अमदि कथोकपगी गुलदुना भारत के निंखा तंबा जिलाइमाइदगी अदुगुंबा पाकिस्तान की लामी सिंह अदु तांथोक्तुना मपुंग फाबा भारत की सबसाबा sovereignty country मगी sovereign country मगी फिरेबु थमंगम किबनी ऑपरेशन माय पांगा होनबदा नुमित हुमफुद्रागा मरी 74 days संगी मरेनंग मजाति की नुसिबगी वाखलोन याउदरगदी मदुगी फीलिंग्स लेत्रगदी मदुगी वाखलोन लेखोयदे लेत्रगदी कोई कथोक वाले
As part of the observance, artists of Sri Sri Bal Mukunda Dev Government Music College Imphal presented a patriotic song. India is celebrating the 23rd anniversary of the Kargil Vijay Diwas today. On this day in 1999, the Kargil War, also known as the Kargil conflict, formally came to an end with Indian soldiers successfully recapturing mountain heights that had been seized by Pakistani intruders. President Draupadi Murmu said Kargil Vijay Diwas is a symbol of extraordinary valor, gallantry and determination of the armed forces. Paying her respect to all the brave soldiers who laid down their lives to protect Mother India, she said that all the countrymen will always be indebted to them and their family members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other leaders, including Home Minister Amit Shah and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, also took to Twitter to pay tribute to the soldiers who lost their lives on July 26, 1999. On Kargil Vijay Diwas, India salutes the bravery, courage and sacrifice of the armed forces in which they fought valiantly in extremely harsh conditions to defend the motherland. Their act of valor and indomitable spirit will remain etched forever as a defining moment in India's history, the Defence Minister tweeted. On Sunday, Rajnath Singh had announced the setting up of joint theatre commands so as to have enhanced coordination among all three services of the country's armed forces. Addressing the Kargil Vijay Diwas event in Jammu, the Defence Minister said Pakistan-occupied Kashmir was is and shall always remain an integral part of India. Meanwhile, a wreath-laying ceremony was held at Kargil War Memorial in Dras to pay tribute to the soldiers. In a historic move, Minister of Horticulture and Conservation, Letpal Haukip, flagged off vehicles loaded with 20 metric tons of pineapple from the Directorate Office of Horticulture and Soil Conservation at Sanjantong, which were airlifted from the Bir-Tiken Visit Airport for Dubai. Speaking on the occasion, Minister Letpal said the pineapples were produced by Thayong Organic Producer Company Limited, Imphal East, Lolhomi Organic Producer Company Limited, Churchandpur, Kaipaha Organic Producer Company Limited, Churchandpur, Kuga Hills Organic Producer Company Limited, Churchandpur, Tanthan Organic Producer Company Limited, Kangpokpi under the brand Organic Manipur. These pineapples will be exported by Thayong Organic Producer Company Limited, Imphal East, and a buyer from Dubai named Hypermarket will buy them. The government is providing support to the organic farmers in hill areas to give market linkage in order to improve the socio-economic condition of the farmers. Apart from pineapple, the department is also exporting organic crops with high profits, stating that the department is also implementing different schemes for the organic farmers of the hill districts. He said, the government is providing benefits under Ujjwala scheme to poor families to discourage deforestation for fuel. A 9-year-old girl from Churchandpur district has reportedly died of scrub typhus at RIMS Hospital. According to media report, the girl has been identified as Memal Sowam, daughter of Songbi Yakshang of Tonglonpi in Singat subdivision. She died at RIMS on July 24. She was referred to RIMS Hospital from Churchandpur District Hospital, the report said. Local residents of Samram Gram Panchayat in Thobal district has drawn the attention of the authority concerned that a ward member of the Gram Panchayat collected 2,500 to 3,000 rupees from one person each under the pretext of providing cooking set to the beneficiaries under Ujjwala scheme. Addressing the media persons after the meeting, one of the residents, Ngangba Robin, has said an aspiring candidate or Pradhan for Samaram Gram Panchayat, female ward member of the Gram Panchayat, has collected 2,500 to 3,000 rupees from one person each under the pretext of providing cooking set to the beneficiaries under Ujjwala scheme. He appealed to the authority concerned to look into the matter as to who authorized to collect money under the scheme by the Government of India. He further appealed to the authority to give back the collected money to the owner.
अखोई समराम ग्राम पंचायत की प्रधान लेखी नुपी अमा ना अखोई समराम प्रजा की वना गैस पीबीगनी हायरगा लेबसी कनाव मियुदेदी पैसा सुबी पीदना गैस सिलेंडर पिरम यावे अदुगा कनाव मिगोंदैना लिसिंग अनि जमादैना अहमबोगी मनुंग लौबा यावी इसामक्तैसो
20 Assam Rifles COB Kwatha Post organized one-day free medical camp at N Satang village and Chaktong village in Tengnopal district yesterday. Senior Medical Officer SMO of Assam Rifles and other medical staffs provided free health checkup facilities and distributed free medicines to around 200 villagers of the two villages during the camp. Commander of 20 Assam Rifles Kwatha Post also took part in the camp. Secretary of N Sadang village Mofam expressed gratitude to 20 Assam Rifles for organizing the medical camp. He also decried the deplorable condition of roads of the villages, which poses difficulties for the villages during times of medical emergency. BJP Lilong Mandal felicitated the 21st position holders Suhani Rahman and Asem Mona of Lilong Assembly constituency, who bagged 21st and 24th position respectively at the SSLC examination 2022 conducted by Board of Secondary Education Manipur at an event held at the residence of ex-MLA of Lilong Assembly constituency Y. Antas Khan yesterday. Ex-MLA of Lilong Assembly constituency Y. Antas Khan, President of BJP Thobal district Yumnam Kumarjit and President of BJP Lilong Mandal SM Tamiju Rahman presided over the event as the presidium members. Memento and cash reward were handed over to the two students. Speaking on the occasion, Antas said children can achieve success if parents and guardians guide them in the path the children want. They must educate their children without putting any pressure, he said.
BJP Lilong Mandal
Now it's time for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Apex Public School, Santnagar, Delhi 110084, CBSE affiliated. Admission open for 2022-23 session for classes 5 to 9 and 11 for all streams, science, commerce and humanities. Hostel facilities available for both girls and boys of classes 5 to 9 and 11 at affordable price. Features are highly qualified teaching staff, wide variety of sports activities, audio-visual smart classes, world-class infrastructure. For local information, please contact 9899 699 355.
welcome you all to UNACO Residential School at Chanung, Imphal East. An exclusive co-education residential school located on a sprawling 50-acre campus will be affiliated to CBSE New Delhi. First academic session will begin in April 2023 for classes 4 to 8. Hurry up for registration.
Ichabu mahi tamhanba haibasi mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudoni. Slopland Public School, biggest and the finest residential school, Manipurgi oina lemjuningai oiraba, mahi tampham ama oiriba, khwaidigi chunaraba maphamda semgatlaba, CBSE the affiliate toba higher secondary school oiri. Ichasingbu admission tawiduna mama mapa singna machada piba ngamba khwaidigi chabu khudol oibiu, ichagi phazabalam chat sajat ki ahongbadu ubiu, Slopland Public School Khongjom.
Welcome back. The Rajya Sabha today suspended 19 opposition MPs till Friday for misconduct by entering the well of the House and raising slogans during the monsoon session of Parliament. The upper house was adjourned for 60 minutes post that, as suspended MPs didn't leave the House and continued protesting. The opposition was protesting against price rises and inflation inside the House. The MPs who have been suspended are TMCs Shusmita Dev, Santan Hussain and Dola Sain, apart from Muralidharan Abir Biswas, Mosam Noor, Shanta Chetri, Muhammad Abdullah, A.A. Rahim, L. Yadav and V. Sivadashan. The opposition created an uproar in the Rajya Sabha as they raised rollback GST slogans. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivans Narayan Singh urged the members raising slogans and clapping, standing in the well of the House, that this was against the rules and the whole nation is saying that they are not letting the House function. The monsoon session of Parliament is mostly seeing disruptions and adjournments. Both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have failed to carry out any considerable business so far since the monsoon session began on July 18. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and other senior party leaders were detained after leading the protest march today against Enforcement Directorate ED's summons to party President Sonia Gandhi in the National Herald money laundering case. Congress Chief Sonia Gandhi reached the ED office again today for the second round of questioning in the case. Congress MPs marched from Gandhi statue in the Parliament premises today towards BJ Chowk in protest against ED questioning of party's interim president Sonia Gandhi in the National Herald case. As the Congress leaders protested outside Parliament, the Delhi police detained some of the party leaders, including K.C. Venugopal, Manikam Tagore, Ranjit Ranjan, Imran Pratap Gari and K. Suresh. The Congress chief was earlier questioned by the Financial Probe Agency on July 21 for nearly 3 hours in connection with the alleged money laundering case related to the National Herald newspaper. Former Union Minister Yashwant Sinha, who recently lost the presidential election as an opposition candidate, said today that he will not join any other political party and remain independent. Sinha also said he is yet to decide on what role he wants to play in public life going ahead. Yashwant Sinha was the joint nominee of non-BJP parties including the Congress and the Trinamool. Asked if he is in touch with the Trinamool leadership, Sinha replied that nobody has spoken to him, adding he has been in contact with the Trinamool leader on a personal basis. Yashwant Sinha, a bitter critic of the BJP, had joined the Trinamool in March 2021, days ahead of the West Bengal Assembly polls. He had quit the BJP in 2018. Gurugram-based Jins 2Me announced that they have developed a RT-PCR testing kit to detect a monkeypox virus, which reportedly provides results in just 50 minutes. This kit is available in both the standard version for any commonly available RT-PCR instruments as well as point-of-care POC format. The POC solution can be used for screening at multiple sites, including hospitals, airports, diagnostic labs, and health camps. Scientists from Jins 2Me have been able to develop FoxQ multiplex RT-PCR kit for the detection of monkeypox virus along with differentiation from Varicella zoster virus chickenpox in a single tube multiplex reaction format, the company said in a statement. Genstomy is among the first Indian companies to roll out this test kit. Based on gold standard Taqman chemistry-based RT-PCR method, it is available for research use only right now. The kit is awaiting validation from the Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) and can be introduced in the market only after it gets approved. Myanmar's ruling military announced on Monday it had executed 4 democracy activists accused of aiding terror acts, sparking widespread condemnation of the country's first executions in decades. Sentenced to date in secretive trials in January and April, the men were accused of helping a civilian resistance movement that has fought the military since last year's coup and bloody crackdown on nationwide protest. Among those executed were democracy campaigner Yo Min Yu and former lawmaker and hip-hop artist Pheu Jaya Tho, an ally of ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The 2 leaders executed were La Yo Yung Aung and Aung Thora Jo. In a joint statement, the European Union, Australia, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, South Korea, Britain and the United States described the executions as reprehensible acts of violence that further exemplify the regime's disregard for human rights and the rule of law. Now, before we wind up, let's have a quick look at the top stories once again. Results of 10th and 11th IRB recruitment will be declared after current assembly session, announces Chief Minister in Biren. And Manipur joins India in observing Kargil Divas. Without sense of patriotism, one will have no courage to sacrifice, says Chief Minister in Biren. And that brings us to the end of today's English News Bulletin. Thanks for watching.
Admission open. Manipur International University Kari Awang Lekai Airport Road Imphal West undergraduate ki oina makhata pizariba course sing tamnabagi khudong chaba pizari. UGC na sakanglaba university asida highly qualified oiraba faculty members singna tongan department ta takpigani amadi advanced computer lab, smart classroom, oriental library ki facility phangbuta natana attractive scholarship unique course ki khudong chaba su pizari. Chalibachai asigi August tagi session hauzaragani maram aduna akupa marol gidamak makhada pizariba helpline number asida contact tawbiu. Manipur International University Kari Awang Lekai Imphal West.
Hai ki badai nang na noma ai udrade